Hey there, Thunder Wizards. So this is my Oz update number 2, entitled Oz, the Land of No Worries. Because everywhere I go, everybody's saying, no worries, mate. No worries. No worries, mate. Don't worry about it. Go to the restaurant, amazing food, and they take my money and I'm like, can I tip you? And they're like, nah, no worries, mate. Just come back. All right. That happened like a couple of different times. Nobody wanted to take my money. And that's definitely been my experience here. Just, I, again, I don't know if it's just I'm getting a special treatment from the universe, or, I mean, this place has got to have something to do it. I keep seeing on the news all kinds of horrible things in the cities of, murders and that kind of stuff. But this particular town has been extremely healing and wonderful for me. And it's definitely been a place of no worries. Still haven't found any surf yet, but there's some coming in the next couple of days. So it looks like my last 3 or 4 days there should be some good waves. So I'm going to surf my brains out and then hopefully sleep on the plane. I don't know if I told my horror story about the plane ride over here, but holy crap, that was awful. Anyway, I'm not complaining, but I've been online looking to see, is there any other possibility, like taking a flight to Hawaii on the way back. And from here to Hawaii is about 9 hours, which would mean I'd only be saving like 3 hours. And if you want to have like an actual comfortable flight, on the business flight, something like $4,000. So 10 times what it costs to be cramped like a sardine for 12 hours. If you want to pay $4,000, you can actually lie down and fly like an actual human instead of a piece of, human slavery cargo, because that's what it feels like. But what can you do? It's way the heck out on the other side of the world. Nothing in between. So I don't know if you heard the weird little birds that sound like turkeys, because that's kind of what they look like. I don't know if those are the ones that make the noise. There's one walking around here somewhere. But they have these bright red heads, and they're all black, and they look just like turkeys. And what else? That's pretty much it. I've decided that this is definitely where I'm going to move. And not having done any real serious research, just looking online, it looks like what I can do is get a 12-month visa, and then while I'm here on that 12-month visa, I will then apply and go see what holes I can jump through to get them to let me stay here longer, because I got to tell you, there's really nothing left for me in the United States. You've heard me talk about it. There's one little square area of about, square, like, it's like a mile or 2 miles and maybe a quarter mile from the beach. And as long as I'm in that little strip, I'm okay. But you get me outside of that in California, and I'm pretty unhappy. I don't understand why people want to live in such craziness. I don't know if it's the culture here. There's there's not a whole lot of diversity here, and as you can tell just from me sharing my experience, they make it very difficult for people to migrate over here. So again, I don't know what it's like in the cities, but out here it's pretty monochromatic. So there's no weird ethnic things bubbling under the surface as there is in other places. And I'm not trying to say anything about that. I mean, I've lived in multi-ethnic communities, and in California, I almost prefer that, because everybody goes out of their way. I found everybody goes out of their way to be friendly and cordial, whereas I've lived in really rich neighborhoods and people were real assholes. So it's not about that, but I can't deny that that probably has something to do with it. It's just, you don't have to deal with language issues and, all that other stuff. And as I said before, the happiest kids I've ever seen in my life, the families and the kids, everybody's happy. I mean, the kids are really well behaved. I never get the sense, oh, here comes a gang of high schoolers that better watch out. Are they going to make a bunch of noise? They're just all really, everybody smiles and says hello and gets out of your way and says, come on. And, it's really mellow vibe. And the surfing, I think I said this before, but the surfing vibe is also really mellow. And so, there you go, mate. The land of no worries. No worries, mate. No worries. No worries. How you going? No worries. So, I don't know if I'm a week, just a little past a week into my 2-week trip. It's been extremely relaxing. I'm still in my jungle treetop house, and I'm actually in the front. This is the front yard here, and it's, I don't know, I just sometimes feel like I'm just going to sort of melt into the background. I'm so comfortable. I went to the gym. I finally, I found a gym out here, and I went to the gym, and I went to go, lift the normal amount of weight that I normally lift, and my body was like, no, nah, we're not going to do that today. We're going to take it. So I'm like, and there's a masseuse here that puts me out. Like I was snoring this last time. She's amazing. So anyway, that's it. The only thing that would be missing here would be, having a partner. And first couple of days I was in a really bad spot. I told you I had somebody ghosted me. A friend ghosted me, and I was like, was jet lagged, and I wasn't used to anything and everything. And I was really aware of how alone I was on a personal level. And even though intellectually I knew I was no more alone here than I was back in California, because all my friends back in California are all married, and I don't hang out with any of them. So even though intellectually I didn't feel any different, it was, it just became really apparent to me because I didn't have anything familiar. I didn't have my house and my stuff, and I was really aware that I was in another country and across the other side of the world and all of that. But now that I've been here and I'm just getting the hang of driving, and I'm seeing how just perfect this particular little spot is for me. It's exactly what beyond. I tell you guys that if you go after your soul desire, you get your fantasy and more. And this has been my case here. With what I was capable of imagining, what I would want, I imagined it. And then I got here, and it became clear to me that this was it. But then I started to see that it was even more. It was even more because there are things here that I couldn't have imagined, like the turkeys with the bright red head that, and all the, I don't know if you can hear all the different jungle birds or whatever, but yep, I'm sitting out here at sunset, and it's, I don't know, probably 80 degrees. It doesn't seem to be bothering me. Everybody's complaining about the heat. I think today was 85. But I felt great. I've got my little tree house here, which has, basically glass all the way around in the front, and, all the windows have these, these slots that just open up, and you just feel like you're not in a house. It's just air running through all directions, and trees and birds, and of course view of all the ocean. And it's perfect because I wake up at dawn and I look and I see what the waves are like. And I don't even have to go check the surf. I just look out my window and I can see all up and down the beach what's going on with the waves. And I put on my sunscreen and whatever else I need to do to protect myself from the incredibly strong sun here. And Anyway, there it is. All right, so that's it for me this week. So I'll be back in a week, and I'm sure I'll have a lot to say. I'm going to have to catch up with a lot of clients and students and all that, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm sure I'll have a lot more to say about it. But for right now, even though I'm by myself, I have to say I'm pretty relaxed, and I'm actually pretty amazed at how I picked, just my instinct picked the exact right spot for me. Not only to vacation, but I think to move. So we'll talk about it more. All right. Talk to you guys later.